It was a good game for us. You know, we wanted to kind of get back on a winning streak before we are winning mark before we head to Kansas City. You know, ultimately every season I told the guys there's 4 chances to win a championship. One was our MTE in Connecticut, and we got that done. Take a lot of pride in that early season championship. Then, you know, you always want to try to compete for your regular season conference championship, and we were right there. Obviously had a little bit of adversity down the stretch, but we were part of the fight. Really proud of our guys. Finishing second in this league is nothing to hang your head down about. And then, you know, now we got a chance to try to win a championship in Kansas City. We intend to be a part of the fight, and then ultimately in the national tournament, you know, we're going to try to be a factor. So pleased to get the win tonight. TCU is a really good team. There's a reason they've won 4 straight. There's a reason they were picked way back before the season to be one of the better teams in our conference. Coach Dixon does a great job. They've got great players. So just really proud of the game tonight. I'm glad to get back on the winning mark before we head into postseason play. Appreciative of the crowd again tonight. You know, we made great strides in our program in our second year building this thing. And I really want to thank all the fans again. And I hope people can come to Kansas City and support this team, then ultimately show up at the first round of the NCAA tournament, wherever that might be. And then lastly, I'm sure some of y'all's questions will involve this later, but these 5 seniors are special guys to me. I respect them all as people. I've really enjoyed coaching them, and I'm looking forward to keeping this ride going as long as we possibly can. You know, I just want to coach these guys as long as I can, but I'm proud of each of them and everything they've done to establish our program.
That second half.
Hey, Keenan, like most great players, lets the game come to him, and then at a certain point you got to get aggressive. And so I thought he played a great floor game, left a lot of assists on the table. Some of his teammates missed a couple easy shots, but no, I'm not telling Keenan Evans much this time of year. You know, just be yourself, be aggressive, play, be confident, believe in yourself. Let me know how the foot's feeling. But you got to give Keenan all the credit tonight. That was Keenan Evans. That wasn't me.
I know I asked Justin. I know everyone kind of looks at the points in terms of stats, but that assist that he had to Zaire Smith, how important was that for y'all just to get that lead? And then obviously it seemed to really kind of fuel you guys there.
Yeah, I mean, Justin Gray plays great. I think the stats are there. You know, defensive rebounds. He gets assists tonight. No turnovers with my naked eye. Blocked a couple shots. Took a charge. Assist screen's a big stat in our team. You know, you set a screen that leads to a basket. Although the stat sheet doesn't show that. That's one of the biggest plays in basketball. So I thought Justin's playing great. This is a guy that's been playing out of position. He's done everything I've asked of him and even more. He's playing through pain himself. Just got a lot of respect for Justin Gray.
Go ahead, Will.
Seems like, or I guess there with 5 minutes left, you guys only, in the first half, you guys only gave up 6 points in the last 5 minutes. It seemed like from that point on, y'all really locked in defensively to play y'all's kind of defense. What do you think kind of changed from that point on, and especially how y'all ran them off the three-point line after that?
Well, one thing was just desperation. You know, our backs are against the wall. You go into a Big 12 game at halftime and you're down 10, 11, 12. It's going to be really, really difficult. We wanted to get it back down to a manageable amount, and I thought we did so. We had some good possessions. I think we're down 5 at half. Questionable call, 0.3 seconds left. But that's basketball. So, but I thought we did a good job. A lot of it was just stemmed out of just urgency. Like, guys, we can't go down 10 or 11. So, you know, we're playing for a lot. You're playing to win. You're playing the senior night. You're playing to get this losing streak past us. And, you know, these guys are trying so hard. And in sports sometimes, you know, you get a little tight. You try too hard. So, but I thought that we had a real urgency with our team the last 2.5 minutes of the first half to get the thing in a manageable amount.
We'll go to Joe over here on the right.
Coach, you got 12 really good minutes out of Zach in the first half. He only played 3 in the second. Was the foot just a little bit sore on him or what?
Yeah, I was told it had nothing to do with the foot. It was ankle. I think he rolled his ankle. So that's what I was told on the bench. But sometimes I hear things on the bench maybe a little bit wrong. And some guy been yelling at me all year from behind the stands, and sometimes he has some pretty good suggestions. I just wanted to tell him thank you for the support this year, and I actually listen to you every once in a while. I think his offensive suggestions are a lot better than his defensive suggestions.
We'll go to Chuck here on the third row.
Coach, would you talk about Jared Culver's defensive effort tonight? He had 7 defensive rebounds. You guys had 24. They had 24. They out-rebounded by 12, but the defensive rebounds were huge tonight, led by Jared.
Yeah, Cova really competed tonight. You know, we got to get him more shots than that. He's such a great offensive talent, but a lot of that's based on what TCU's doing. And I actually told Cova that in a film session. He's starting to get the best team's defender. He's starting to get different looks. You know, you can go out there as a freshman and kind of survive for a minute. Then eventually people are going to be like, hey, man, this kid's a really good player. Let's do this on him. So people are game planning. But we got to get him more shots. I just love the kid. He's so coachable. You know, I get on him. He just looks you right in the eyes. Yes, sir. He's a big-time person and player. He's going to be one of the all-time greats here.
Go to Jarrett here, second row.
Hey, Coach, great win, but really got beat on the boards tonight. I mean, from the beginning all the way through. Is that a concern moving forward?
Yeah, so, you know, we even on defensive rebounds. They just got a lot more offensive rebounds than us tonight. We had to play small ball down the stretch. Norris fouls out, had to try to match up. So a lot of times we didn't have an offensive rebounding presence there. I give TCU credit. They out-rebounded us, but maybe the stats are a little bit misleading when you consider we weren't sending guys to the board and we were even on defense. But that's a big part of the identity. It's hard to win a game when you get out-rebounded, but you got to win the game in different ways. Tonight, low turnovers. Got to the free throw line, shot a good percentage. Three-point shot was good to us tonight. Although we didn't shoot a lot, we made a good percentage. So just different ways to win the game. But certainly rebounding is something we try to focus on.
And then, Coach, you mentioned on Thursday in the availability that you felt like Keenan was going to have a really strong March. Did you kind of see maybe the second half coming from him, just from what you see maybe throughout the week?
Yeah, I just stay consistent on that. I just think Keenan's going to take what the game brings him. He's not playing at 100%, and but a lot of guys aren't this time of year in college basketball. Everybody's a little banged up, but that's one of the grittiest performances I've ever seen, guys. In the second half, he just got to the free throw line. He took and made big shots, and he started getting back to himself on defense. Made a couple big plays. I like his demeanor too. You know, like he's just grown up. Even in my time here, you know, the bad pass late in the game where he just threw it. You know, old Keenan might not have been looking at me on that. He looks right at me. Pats, no problem, Coach. Don't freak out. Let's go get a stop. So he's just really grown up. And I would echo what Keenan said about Coach Smith and Pooh and Vince and Joe Esposito. Those guys did a great job here and laid a foundation. And, you know, as we build the program, the most important thing is the past players and past coaches. A personal highlight to me is my relationship with Coach Myers, and my respect for Coach Knight is well documented. And then Coach Dickey coming back from the throwback game. And I'll say Coach Smith, the same thing. You know, job changes, always a little bit of a sting, but I think as time goes on here, I think everybody will understand what Tubby did here like I have from day one. The guy was a great coach, an even better person. He deserves a lot of credit for the success we've had because of these players that he recruited.
Anything else for Coach? Okay. We'll go back to Chuck.
Gio, you awake back there? You awake? Oh, okay.
Coach, I know you wanted to win the Big 12, but is there a small sense of satisfaction of just winning tonight and getting the 2 seed and feeling like there's a little bit of whipped cream on top of the cake going into the postseason and all?
To me personally, no. You know, I'm not a second place guy. You know, we're gonna put ourselves in a position every year. We're gonna compete for this thing, and whether we get it done or not, that depends on a lot of things. But we intend to be a part of the fight. So I'm not satisfied at all, but I am pleased and proud that we were part of the fight for the championship this year in our second year. I'm proud that we overcame some adversity that's very obvious. And I intend to be a part of the fight in Kansas City and then in the national tournament as all. But, you know, second place, I respect the question, but kind of like kissing your sister. You know, I don't have a sister, but I understand what that means. I'd much rather kiss my girlfriend than a sister. I'd much rather finish first than second, but I'm proud that we were part of the fight. We keep putting ourselves in this fight, and then eventually you're going to break through. And that's why these 5 seniors will be special guys to me forever, as well as last year's guys. You know, Aaron Ross is back today, and Devin, Matt Temple, and I don't want to forget anybody, Livingston. Who else? Thomas Brandsma. Kind of hard to forget him. He's been on my taxes for 15 years. But no, those seniors need to take a lot of pride in what's going on here. So, you know, we're a program that's always going to respect and embrace seniors. And I hope those guys on our first team took a little bit of satisfaction on the kind of year we've had to this point as well.
Go to Austin.
Coach, in that first half, Nayeem had probably one of the most aggressive games I've ever seen him play. He looked really good out there. What did you see from him in that first half?
I would agree with that. I think our team's better when Nayeem plays well. The last 5, 6, 7 games, Naeem's played great. West Virginia, he carried us. Tonight, he was really aggressive. I thought his 3 turnovers were not low-level plays. They were just plays trying to help his team. And a couple of those around the basket, maybe questionable calls. I don't know. But I'm proud of Nayeem. It's been kind of well documented, our relationship. He's the first guy that I recruited here. Tried to get him at Little Rock and UNLV and then here. And I got a special relationship with Nayeem. I've coached him really hard. The guy's graduating in May. He's going to have a chance to play professional basketball. And I don't think basketball will define Nayeem. I think he's destined for something great. He's a special guy. He cares about greater causes than just himself in basketball. He thinks about the world. He's just remember that I call that. Nayeem will end up being one of the all-time great alumni of this school because he's going to do something to change the world. And I've already talked about Justin and Keenan and Zach. And, Tommy Hamilton was the first, high-level transfer that jumped on board. I'll never forget Tommy's visit. Me, him, and his mom were sitting in the bleachers. And I told Tommy about our process, nutrition, and work, and what I thought we could do for him. And, he gave me his word on his visit. Coach, I want to come be a part of this. And he's done more than that. Our best games this year is when Tommy Hamilton's played well along with Norrance. And I look for Tommy to have a great March. He was dialed in today. I have a lot of respect for Tommy. We'll always be appreciative of him opening doors for other transfers we're going to get over the years. Tommy, too, is going to get his degree, which is really hard to do when you transfer from a 4-year school to another 4-year school. A lot of these classes don't transfer. Tommy has busted his ass academically. And so I'm really proud to be Tommy's coach, Naeem's coach, Zach, Justin, and Keenan.
Is there anything else you want to add about these seniors as today is the last day you coach them at the USA?
Yeah, just that I look forward to celebrating this thing later on, but we got a lot of basketball left. I just want to coach these guys another day. I want to get down here to Kansas City, and I want to play another game. And ultimately, when we get to the NCAA tournament, that's our same idea, too, last as long as we can possibly last. I got a lot of respect for these guys as people. I respect their families. They're all going to graduate on time in May, which is hard to do as a college athlete. And, I just hope they take a lot of pride not only in what we've done this year and what we're about to do in March, but also future success of the program. I hope these guys take a lot of pride for helping us lay the foundation.